Hello friends, my name is Bilal Khan and today I'm going to be working on the inventory application in Rust programming language. So this is a simple application in which I will be adding some of the items, and after that I will be updating them, and I can also list them. So I will be not using the database like Postgres or MySQL, but instead I will be using the HashMap in which the data will be temporarily stored there, but if you close the program, after that it will be revoked. So yeah, this is the program that I'm going to be making in this video. So let's go to the screen. So as you can see here that this is the terminal like new Vim that I'm currently using, and if you want to access this code, I have already prepared this. As you can see here, I will link this code in the description below so that you can see it and know that how it works. But I will be showing all the process here in this code editor so that you can use it and understand it properly, right? So let's take a look at, first of all, what I need to do. I need to first of all define that the main function, right? So inside, let's write main, and this is the function in which I will be writing like some of the print statements. Say, let's say add an item, and after that I will write what you can say print line. The next step is to write update an item, like update an item. Yeah, this should work like this, not that. Yeah, update an item. After that, the next step is going to be view an item, right? Or list an item, list an item, right? So now the next step is to give the user, like, if you not want any of these options, you can simply click on the exit button, right? So yeah, these are the 4 options that the user can select from, and once the user click on any of these options, I will be working on separate functionalities, right? But first of all, let's write print, and this will basically be giving the choice to the user that enter your choice. So what the user will do, user will enter 1, 2, 3 or 4, any kind of number, right? So after that, let's write IO. So this is the input output library or the CRAT that I will be using. IO std out, that will basically be taking the output like in one line, like flush. What do I mean by this? So expect failed to flush the std out. So basically it means that whenever you enter your choice, it should not be on the next line. Instead, the choice will be taken on the same line, right? Enter your choice here on the same line, not on the next line, right? So yeah, this is the point, and I need to import this library or use the CRAT for it, like use after that std io and then self-write, right? So self-write. So yeah, this is the CRAT that I will be importing and using it. Now the next thing that I'm going to do is to, what you can say, once this is done, what I will do, I will write an option like first of all a variable take input. So this variable is going to be basically taking the input from the user, and that input will be saved in this variable, right? So string, and this is the variable name that will be stored, and after that let's read this line that is basically be stored in this take input. So once the user enter this line, it will be read, and after that it can be used. So after that, let's write io std in, and then read line, what you can say, and after that mute, %mute, that will give that will get the mutable reference of it of this take input variable, and after that I will write the take input. If I directly write it, it will give me this error. So instead, what I need to do, I will need to take the mutable reference so that I can use this variable, right? And after that, let's write failed to read the line, right? So basically what it will do, it will read this line that the user will enter it, and once the user enters this line and it reads this, after that we can use this variable, right? Now the next step that I'm going to do is to define another variable that will basically be choice. So what this choice means, basically it will, I will show you that basically it will take the input, right, this variable, and it will trim it and parse it. So basically it will remove all the extra spaces, like let's say if the user has entered like something like this, 1 and then space. So this 1 will be taken, but the space will be removed from it, right? So this trim and parse will basically be, first of all, removing this extra spaces, and parse will basically be converting it into what you can say, into an integer value, not into the string value. So initially when I created this variable, I created it as string, but now this choice variable will basically be this needs to be unified 8 bits, right? 8 bits. So basically this choice variable will be integer, and that integer will be this take input variable will be converted into integer. Yeah. So now let's write failed to convert to integer, right? So yeah, this is the overall purpose of it. Now the next thing that I'm going to do is to write a print statement in which I will be putting the conditions for each of these print statements. Like first of all, let's write print choice, match, and then after that let's write one should be put here, and next thing that I'm going to do is to add item, right? This is the function that I will be working on, right? So similarly, I will write 2. This is the, let's say if the user enters the second choice, then it will lead to the update item function, right? And let's write like 3. It will go to the list item function. And let's say if the user enters what you can say 4, then it should break. But there is one point that I have missed it, but I will put it after that. But one thing that you need to keep in mind is, let's say if the user enters any other number, 5, 4, or 5, 6, 7, 8, then it will give me this error, right? Sorry, I need to write this. All right. So failed to recognize the choice. All right. So basically, what it will do, it will give me this error if any other number, like not 1, 2, 3, 4. Instead, let's say 5, 6, 7, 8. These kind of numbers are entered, then it will give me this message. But the point that I was discussing is this break statement. So this break statement will only work if there is a loop here. So there is currently no loop here that will be repeatable. So what I need to do, I need to first of all, let's say, select them. What you can say, like this, and then what I need to do, I need to, let's say, write this. And now the next step that I'm going to do is to put the loop here, right? So this will be a continuous loop that will be going every time until you close this. All right, so how you can close this? You can simply write on this 4th option, and that will break this loop, right? So yeah, this is the overall purpose of it. Now let's create these functions. I will just print the statement in it, and then I will run this for you, that how it is working. So let's write fn, what you can say, add item. And this time what we will do, I will simply write a function, simply write a print statement that added an item, right? So this is the print statement. Similarly, I will write update item that will basically be showing us that updated an item. Updated an item, right? And the next time is to write list. So make sure that both of these names are similar, otherwise it will give me this error and the functions will not be executed, right? So yeah, print line. And now the next thing is to write a list an item, right? Or here is the list. Here is the item list. Item list. Although the item list is not shown here, but I'm just assuming that. Let's see if it is done. So yeah, these are the three functions that I have created. Now let's run them. So I will simply run cargo run. As you can see here, there are some errors that I need to figure them out, like this one is the error. This one, first of all, let's find this, enter your choice. Where is this? Enter your choice. Yeah, as you can see here, this is the semicolon that I forgot. Now the next thing I need to do is I have forgotten about it, although previously I removed it, but then I need to write it low. So this was the mistake. And yeah, there is another semicolon, maybe not missing. Yeah, so let's save this and clear this. Once you clear it, it will give you the error that this statement is not supported by a body. As a match arm here. Okay. Alrighty, I need to write this, remove this semicolon and simply write the column here. Column, right? So sorry about that. There is some kind of, yeah. So yeah, as you can see here, these are the commas, but I need to write this comma here instead of just writing the semicolon. So yeah, this was my mistake. And now let's write, as you can see here, if I write 1, it will give me this message that add in an item. If I write 2, it will give me updated an item. Oh, sorry, I need to run this again. Cargo run. If I write 3, it will give me, here is the item list. If I write 4, it will exit this. But if I write, let's say 5 or 6, it will give me this message that failed to recognize the choice. Although the loop is continuously running, so this is the reason that it won't stop until you stop it by writing 4. All right, so this is how it will work. Now the next thing that I'm going to do is to work on these functionalities, right, one by one. So now let's take a look at, first of all, I will first of all define some kind of structures like struct, and the first struct is going to be item, in which some of the item details will be stored, like the item name, that will be string, and the item quantity, that how much quantity of that item you want. So it will be unified 8 a bit, right? So now the next thing that I'm going to do is to write another struct, and that struct will basically contain the hash map, right? I can although define them in every function, but it will not be that much a good practice. Instead, I will just define it in a structure, and then that structure will be used in all of these functions, right? So it will be in a structure, right? So all of these functions will be in a structure way. So let's take a look at them. Yeah. So let's write collection. Although you can name it any, I'm just naming it a collection or inventory, anything that you want, right? So let's write items. So there is one point that I have missed, and basically there will be a time when this name and quantity and items will be repeated. So you want to understand that which name this one is and which is the name that is belonging here. So there will be multiple names and items and quantity names that will be repeated. So this is the reason that I have written this sign here, in order to make this identify that this item is belonging to this struct and this name and quantity is belonging to this struct. And let's say if there is another name or variable that I will be declaring, it will be without this sign, right? So yeah, this is just for the simplicity purpose, to make you understand that how they are differentiated. Now the next thing is basically let's define the variable type. Items basically is going to be HashMap, and let's write this is the key, that is going to be the string, and the item is going to be the value. So inside this item there are two variables, name and quantity. So I will be declaring them as a value, and they will be, the string is basically going to be the key, right? So now there is another thing that I have missed, is basically to use a library in order to import this hash map, right? So I will simply write std collections collection, and maybe it is collection or collections. All right, no problem. I will take a look at them, whether it will give me the error or not. So collections, history collections, I think that collections, right? So now let's write hash map, right? Hash map. So yeah, now this hash map will work. And now the next step that I'm going to do is to write the implement. So this implement will basically allow me to use these functions inside this structure, right? So yeah, these functions will be used as part of this structure so that I can use them in one implementation block, right? So let's write collection. This is the same collection name that I have given to this struct because this collection will be used. The structure of that collection will be used and they will be implementing all of these functions, right? So let's select them like this, and then what I need to do, I need to write this. Yeah. Now the next step that I'm going to do is to simply write like this. Now, yeah, they are defined. There is another function that I'm also going to be making is basically, although the key and value defined, but there is another function in which I will be writing, let's say cell first of all, and inside this I will create a new hash map that is basically like this, items, and that is going to be hash map new, right? So this will basically be declared under this collection block, right? And after that it will be implemented. So now this is fine, and I'm hoping that there is one thing it should, yeah, this thing needs to be written here. Yeah, now this will work fine, right? So yeah, inside this collection there is an item, and that item is basically giving us this hash map values that is new, and I will be using this items here inside these functions, right, or the methods. So let's write one by one each of these. So first of all, I will just check them. I will write self. So what does this self mean? Basically, it means that it is referring to itself, right? So whenever you write any kind of variable that is inside this function, it will be, you will use the self here in order to refer its own variables, right? So its own the list items that are belonging to it is basically identifying the self items, right? So it is belonging to itself, referring to itself. Now this is the reason that I have written it, and basically if you not write it, it will give me it will give you error. But another thing that you also need to keep in mind is basically if you write these self what you can say parameters, it will give you the error because you have not mentioned it. So how you can write this? You will simply write let collection, and that collection is going to be equal to collection new, right? So this is going to work now, and after that, let's say if I write like this, collection, it will not give me the error because I have written the collection here, right? So let's write the collection here, similarly write the collection here, right? So yeah, this is working fine as per my guess. So let's save this, and after that, once you run this, yeah, it is not giving me an error. Let's say if I write 1, added an item, 2, updated an item, 3, list an item, and 4, terminal is closed. So yeah, this is working fine for me, right? So yeah, the library is working fine. This HashMap collections, yeah, I was worried about it, so no problem, it is fine now. So yeah, you learn through practice. Now, the next step is going to implement the adding item, updating item, and listing item in it. So how I can do this? I will simply remove this print statement, and after removing it, I will create another variable that is basically let item is equal to item. So this item is basically the struct that I have mentioned above. And once this is mentioned, what I will do, I will write the variables. So I will write the variable like name, and I will also write the variable like quantity. So these name and quantity should be equal to some values, right? Because these are names and this value should be equal to some values. So the values I need to mention here. like first of all I will write mute, that will be mutable. So these items that I will be writing, they will be mutable. And once I do this, I will write a name, that will be string, and I will write quantity, that will be unified 8-bit integer, right? So now let's write name, and this is going to be the quantity, right? So yeah, now this name is equal to this one, that will be given as a parameter, and when the user will use it as an argument, and similarly this quantity will be equal to this quantity. Now the next thing that I'm going to do, there is one thing mentioned, is basically I need to write string. This thing I have forgotten about it. This should not be like string, instead it should be written like as a string literal, that will be referencing to that name, right? It will not be a string value itself, it will be referencing to that name. This is the reason that I have written the toString, so that it can be converted to it. So the next step is basically to insert the values. So once the values are mentioned, I need to insert those values also in these name and quantity. So how I can do this? I will simply write what you can say, let item, I have forgotten about it, that item insert, and that is going to be, let's say, item insert, and it's going to be key value here. So I will write the key, that is maybe I have forgotten about it. Yeah, so I have forgotten this, that I need to first of all write self items dot items. This item is going to be called here, and now what I need to do, I need to write insert, and once this is insert is called, what I will do, I will write name toString, and then after that I will write what you can say, item, right? So this item will be considered as value, and this is the these are the values, right? Now the next thing that I'm going to do is to write print line. Let's take a look that first of all added an item, this is the name of it, and quantity, this is the name of it, right? So let's write name and let's write quantity. So yeah, I hope this will work fine this time. So let's run this. First of all, I need to write the arguments here also. So what I will do, I will write hello. So let's write item is going to be apple, right? So there are 5 apples, right? Yeah. So let's save this. And now what I will do, I will write cargo run. It is showing me some errors that I need to figure them out. First of all, let's take a look at this one, that where is the mistake here? Yeah, first of all, this is the error that I need to write the semicolon. And now the next step is to write the what you can say, as mutable cannot borrow collection. I need to write mute. Okay, because it was borrowed previously, right? So collection cannot be borrowed, it needs to be mutable. So now let's write add an item. As you can see here, apple and quantity is equal to 5. Similarly, if I write another value here, like 6 or 7, it will similarly print that value for me. All right, so it is working fine. So let's close this. Now the next step is to work on the update functionality, right? So let's clear this, and once it is cleared, let's write. First of all, I will write the parameters, like is this the mute, and then after that I will write the same name, a string reference, and then the what you can say, U8 integer, unified integer 8-bit. And now the next thing that I'm going to do is to write if let sum is basically item is equal to what you can say, if this item that is basically you will give it to it, if this is equal to the self dot items, and items are get mute. So what it does, basically it will fetch the mutable reference of that item, and once it is fetched, it will be printing us the message that I will write, otherwise it will give me the error, right? So the mutable reference, that of these items, right, whether these items are fetched or not. If they are found, that's awesome. If they are not, then I will write the errors. So let's write what you can say. I need to write something more also, that self quantity is equal to quantity. Now this quantity is going to be equal to this. After once it is equal, then I can write the print message that, hey, updated item and quantity, right? So yeah, updated item and quantity. So let's write name and quantity. Okay, this is fine. So similarly, if there is an error, then what it will do, it will give me the error that no item in the collection. So if it has not found any kind of item, that is basically the mutable reference, then it will give me this error that no item in the collection. So the name will be basically the identification of this data, right? The items. So name will basically identify that whether this item is present or not. So let's write semicolon and then execute it. Now check that whether it is working fine or not. Alrighty, it is giving me some errors. Quantity expected one or more possible tokens. Where is this? Okay, I need to write something like this. Okay, this one is fine. Now this time if I write again, okay, get mutable. Okay, I forgot about it, that I need to write the name here, because now this is making sense, because it will get the mutable reference of this name. Basically the name will be the identification thing that through which the data will be identified. So I have forgotten to mention the name. I can write the quantity also, through which the based on the quantity the items will be identified, but I want to make the identifier as a name, so that through the name the item can be identified, right? So yeah, this was my mistake. So let's clear this again, run it. Yeah, unknown field quantity. I have written the quantity properly. Why it is giving me the error? Quantity. Okay, let's check this. No field quantity on type mute collection. Okay, I need to write the, I need to write the collection here. I didn't write it, so sorry about that. And let's say if I write apple, and then I can change the, let's say 8, because the apple will be basically the identifier of this item, right? So if there is an orange and there is an apple, then it will give me the error. So the name should be the same, but the quantity can be changed, right? So let's save this. Now this time if I write cargo run again, it will still give me the error that self no field quantity on type mute collection. Why is this giving me the error? Yeah, so I have forgot about it, that this is the item that is basically shown here. So I need to write the item instead of writing self. So basically the sum is defining the item, and through this item it can be identified instead of just writing this what you can say, self, right? So let's write again. This time if I write update, it will give me this error, the no item in the collection. Why? Because no item is added here. So first of all I need to add the item. Once I add the item, after that if I write update, then this time it will give me the message. This was the previous one, this is the new one, that is the quantity 8. So yeah, this is fine now. now the next step is to work on the list collection. Okay, so let's write list item if, what you can say, self. I need to also write, not write, let's say this mutable self, instead this will be fine. Let's write self item is items is equal to dot, what you can say, self items get, not get, self items values, sorry, self items is empty, right? So if this items are empty, then what it will do, it will basically give me the message that on the items there is no item present. All right, so there is no item present, but let's say if the item is present, then what it will do, it will run a for loop, and that for loop is going to be item for item in what you can say, self items self items values. Now it will fetch those values and give me the message here that, what you can say, added item and quantity. Right, so this is the name item, what you can say, name, item name, and item quantity. Like this is fine. I hope it will work fine, but let's see that how it goes. List item 3, as you can see, there is no item present. So let's say if I add an item, and then again if I write what you can say 3, it will give me the error apple and quantity 5, added item, right? So yeah, this is working properly. Now there is another problem here, that let's say if I want to enter the values here. Basically, my suggestion is this. Basically, I don't want to enter the values here, like the apple 5 or apple 8. Instead, I want to enter the values inside the terminal. Let's say if the user want to add an item, then that item values can be inserted in the terminal, like here, instead of mentioning them every time. So is there a way through which I can work on this? Yeah, there is definitely a way, but for this I need to work on another function, that is basically fn enter choice, right? So this will basically allow me to enter my choice. Instead of writing them here, I will write directly here, right? So I will import some kind of I will return some kind of variables. The first one is going to be the string, the second one is to be unified integer or 8-bit, and then what I will do, I will write a simple print statement first of all, that enter your choice, enter your choice. And now once it is given this to me, now the next thing that I'm going to do is to write what you can say IO std out for taking the value in the same line, right? And flush, right? So flush, and the next step is to expect, and that will be give me the error if there is any error caused. So fail to flush the std out. So basically it will take the same same what you can say choice, this choice on the same line, right? Not in another line. So now the next step is to write let mute take name, and that name is going to be, let's say, string literal. And then what I need to do, I need to write like this. All right, Yeah, so let's take this. After that, let's write what you can say, iostdin read line mutable reference of that take name. All right, and then it will expect some result. Let's say if it is not reading the line, then I will write fail to read the line. Yep. Now the next thing that I'm going to do is to trim, like remove some of the spaces that are extra, right? So I will do another like name, and this time it is going to be like this, right? So now once it is done, so I think I should write string, not string literal. Now this is fine, and here I will write string literal. This is fine, right? So yeah, now the next thing that I'm going to do is to basically remove some of the extra spaces. So how I can do this? I will simply write take input trim, right? So this will remove all the extra spaces. Although this is the string value, I'm not going to convert it into integer, but yeah, here this the name will be taken. Now the next step is going to be what you can say print line, not print line, but here I will write enter your quantity, right? So yeah, this is enter your quantity. Here I need to write enter your name instead of write enter the an item name, like enter your quantity. Now this is the next thing, that is basically ion std out like this, and then flush, and after flush I will write expect failed to flush the std out. Then the next step is to write another variable, let mute, that will take the that will create a variable by the name of, let's say, quantity, take quantity, and that is going to be the string, and this will basically allow me to take the variable as a string, and once it is taken, then I can convert this into integer. So first of all, let's write read the line, read line. This will basically read the line of this quantity variable, that what it is written inside it, mutable variable, and this is going to be take quantity. And now once it is done, let's write expect failed to read the line, right? So now I need to convert this into integer value, and I also need to remove some of the extra spaces that it has. Like first of all, I will write quantity. This is the variable quantity, and this quantity is going to be unified 8-bit what you can say 8-bit integer. And then what I will do, I will write take quantity, not take name. Take quantity, I have forgotten that I need to take name instead of take input. Yeah, the take name, this is the take name, and this is going to be take input. Now the next step is to write trim, parse, and then what you can say expect fail to convert to integer, right? So yeah, now there are some variables that will be returned at the end. The first one is going to be the name, the second one is going to be the quantity. Yeah, these are the two variables that will be returned. Now let's take a look at them one by one here. So now what I will do, I will first of all write the curly braces. Inside this curly braces, I will write this function, and similarly this function. First of all, let's this function, and semicolon. And first of all, I will write what you can say take enter choice, call this variable, and I will let's say return the values that are basically the name and the quantity, right? So these are the two values. So the first one is the name, and that is to string, Basically it is to be converted as string, because these are this variable is as a string literal, not a string. So yeah, keep this in mind. And now the next thing is going to be quantity. All right, so after that, similarly I will take I will write the curly brace here, and inside this curly brace, let me just close this curly brace here. Now the next thing that I need to write is to remove this, write the comma, and then I need to write the semicolon, and then above it I will write name, quantity, and that is going to be enter choice. Now this is going to be fine now. Yeah, so basically it will allow me to enter the choice. Once a choice is entered, then it will add the item or update the item. But listing the item won't require any kind of variable, so yeah, it is fine. So yeah, let's run this and see that how it works or not. Let's clear this first of all. Yeah, there are some options that I need to work on. Like the first one is this error message. Like where is this? Yeah, this one. Yeah, so as you can see here, I need to write it in this brackets and curly brackets like this. Now there is another error, maybe to string. I have forgotten about it. I need to write the variable, sorry, name to string, and then it is going to be like quantity. You can say like this. Now I think that it is fine. No? So let's check them again, clear it. Alrighty. So name return is going to be string, but it found okay. Now I understood that it should be written as string, not like this. Yeah, this should be treated like this. And once it is done, I will just remove this because I don't think there is a need for it here, right? So yeah. So now the next error is basically, yeah, these are the errors that it is giving me. Let's run this again. Okay, add item collection. What it is saying that I need to add the item. Where is this add item? And that is basically reference. So I need to, maybe here I need to pass them. Maybe now it will not give me the error. I think I'm missing something that I'm not getting it now. All right, okay. Now I get it. So instead of writing this toString, I need to take this like this. So I need to take the ampersand sign in order to take the reference of it, this name, right? So I don't need to write to convert into string because it is already converted into string, but I need to take the reference of that string. So yeah, this is the error that I need. So yeah, but thanks to Rust that it is giving me so easy suggestions. So now the first step that I need to do is to write 1. If I enter 1, you can see here that it is asking me to enter the name here. I can write any name here, like orange, and then I can write the quantity, let's say 2. Now as you can see here, orange 2. And similarly, if I write update, now the next update, it will ask me the name. So let's say if I write apple, it will give me the what you can say, let's write 4. It will give me this error message that no item in the collection. Why? Because the item was orange, not apple. So you need to keep this in mind that the it is in the same loop that it is repeating. So it will consider this as apple, not orange. So you need to keep this in mind. So yeah. it will keep the orange in mind, not apple. So my mistake. Yeah. So let's say if I again update it, and now this time if I write orange, because it was previously entered, as you can see here, it was previously entered, and if I write 4, you will see that this is the same updated item that it is giving me, and this is the orange. Now the quantity is changed. Previously the quantity was 2, now the quantity is 4. But if I write the apple, it will not identify this item name, because I have set the criteria for item to be identified through its name, not through its quantity, right? So now let's write 3. 3 is basically giving me all the data that is added item and quantity. And if I write 4, it will close the error. It will close the program for me. And if I write 6 or 7, that it will give me the error that failed to recognize the choice. So yeah, this was the overall application that I have shown you, and maybe it was not easy for you at first time, but believe me that this is too awesome and you will learn a lot while practicing it. So yeah, Rust is an awesome language. I hope you will like this while learning it and practicing it. So yeah, if you want to get the code here, you can see here that this is the code here. I have already written it, and you can just what you can say, copy it, clone it, use it for your purpose. There is no requirement for it. So yeah, I hope you like this video. So if you liked it, then make sure to subscribe to my channel, and if you have any questions, then ask those questions in the comment section below. I'll be happy to answer all of them. So till then, goodbye.